We're seeing a lot of Wraith Trap being picked in ESL. People aren't banning it anymore, and I wonder why. It used to be banned all the time in the map pool, and now Wraith Trap is being picked almost every series. Every series today we've casted, we've seen Wraith Trap at least once.
Yeah, you know, I think you're right about that. It's interesting to see Wraith Trap come back like this. Makes me wonder what other maps we might see making a comeback at some point.
Please not aviary. Oh, Mammoth Birds! That's 6 meats right there and a ton of Reavers. This is why everyone goes this feeding route right here, right in front of the Tyrant pool, because there's 2 Mammoth Birds and just a pile of Reavers that give you a ton of feed. You just gotta be fast enough to get it. The downside is it's a very predictable feeding route, and by going in this direction, the hunters are gonna know exactly where you're at, because I'm sure they practice against monsters who've done this 100 times. But the advantage, of course, is that you are going to be full armor, almost full energy if you're moving quickly and getting some good old food spawns over here. I think they know exactly which corner he's in. I was right, Mazel is choosing Crow. I think Crow's the only trapper Mazel has played today. Of course, they just played in Go 4 and took 2nd place against Ninja Penguins. Now they are playing in the ESL majors, and Mazel still pulling out the Crow. The Wraith on the move down here, moving over to the east side of the map. Mazel is cutting very far inward. Like I said earlier, if there's one thing I learned from NASCAR, is you go faster if you're on the inside. Well, you don't necessarily go faster, but you'll get there faster if you run along the inside. The Wraith running on the outside of the map. Mazel cutting through the middle. And once they're ready to dome, he'll cut into this middle area, from the middle to the edge, I should say.
Here goes Gobi. I don't even think Gobi is going to spot Nimp, though. Oh, Gobi actually does. Gobi catches Nimp at the last minute. Now they know exactly where he is. And they're going to be able to make a beeline right for the monster player. Nimp might not be able to get away now. You know, I thought he was going to get a clean stage 2.
He is ready to evolve. He's taking great feeding routes. Did a good job feeding up. And is continuing to move away from the hunters, even though they know exactly which direction he's going. Very hard to shake hunters at a high level of competitive play. I think not a lot of players realize that their spread is awesome. You know, if the trapper doesn't see it, someone else might see it because they're all not looking the same direction. Trapping game is on point, tracking game is on point. It's just so hard to shake the hunters in competitive play, which is what I think really makes monsters struggle. Even Wraiths, who are super nimble and fast and stealthy, can have a hard time in competitive play just because hunters are so good at tracking. They know the map so well. They know popular evolve spots. They know feeding routes. They're counting traversals. Right there, I just called out. He used 2 traversals and a warp blast, and there's the 3rd one. Or maybe he used 3 right there, and I may have miscounted. But it is very, very hard to escape hunters in competitive play. The pressure is real right about now. I think we're about 3 minutes into the game, and we have yet to see a dome. I wonder if Mazel is holding it, or if he just hasn't gotten an area that he's comfortable with doming at, because you want a dome without loops.
Yeah, you know, they might be holding it. They might just be waiting for a clean stage 2 evolve dome, catching him with no armor. That way they can dish out the maximum amount of damage. Or it might just be due to some of the difficulties in traversing terrain on this map. Kildrith, though, definitely not having much difficulty. He's basically right on Nimp. Oh, man, and there's a Plasma Lance shot right there. Look at how much damage that does.
Mazel might be being really selective right now with this dome. One thing is, a loop with Lenny is going to be, I think, I don't like to use superlatives, but the worst out of any assault, because that Plasma Lance is just not going to have a good time. And of course, you're going to have line of sight to use the Thunder Strike or AA Cannon. It's not like your Markov and you can put mines everywhere and cut off loops, or your Hyde and you can at least throw a Stink Nade around the corner. With Lenny, if you lose line of sight, you lose damage. So if Mazel domes him with a loop, Lenny's going to have an especially hard time.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, as long as Lenny can stay on the monster, the damage potential is immense. Probably the highest out of any assault out there. I still think Torvald might be a better pick against Wraith, simply because you can completely negate late-game Supernovas with those mortars. The Wraith has no choice but to expend the Traversal and leave the Supernova. Here comes that Stage 2 evolve, though. Nimp evolving in a very, very safe spot here. Mazel definitely going to see him and get that dome. Look at that. He's getting in the perfect position. Throws it at the last second just to maximize that time. And the rest of the Hunter team is closing in now.
Nimp has actually food. That's a great use of decoy right there. Nimp had food in this cave that he killed earlier. Unfortunately, he summoned Trapjaws. But to trick the Trapjaws so he could eat in there, he decoyed out. Trapjaws left him alone, and he was able to get a little bit of armor, so the Trapjaws didn't completely ruin
there's
him.
an Abduct on Nightmare. Shields coming out from Wardoon. Nimp going to be forced off. He does not have enough armor to commit to a fight. Only a bar left. Goes back in. Look at that. Pops the decoy. What's he going to do? He's going to continue feeding and then probably finish off a few Trapjaws. Nope. Doesn't even have time, though. Kildrith already down below. Knocks him out. Looks like he's going for Mazel now. Oh, he abducts a Trapjaw instead. And we can hear the counter building on Kildrith's Plasma Lance there. Nimp forced to use his traversals and get as far away from the assault player as he possibly can.
I wonder if on this particular map, due to the elevation changes, if Kildrith decide to take jetpack or movement speed. We'll have to see. I'll have to pay close attention to him and give me a guess, give you guys a guess later on. Trying to eat those Trapjaws. They're only one meat, and they're really hard to kill as the monster, and they're annoying and will poke you, and they come in a pack. So generally, Trapjaws, unless you're super desperate for food, are not worth your time killing. Taking all of that into consideration, they are super, super annoying to take down. Luckily, Nimp not taking too much health damage. That is a pretty negligible amount, even on a Wraith. He's looking okay. He's going to try to get full armor bar here, and then go back in on this Hunter squad and see what he can do in terms of down penalties. If not, go directly to stage 3, take out Wardoom, take out Nightmare, take out the rest of the team.
You know, Nimp, though, he might be able to get away here. He does pop that decoy. It looks like he's going to sneak around the pillars here. They know it's a decoy now, but they're not quite sure where he is. I think Gobi is going to spot him, though.
I'm not sure if they managed to pull off a juke right there, but it looks like they are moving in Nimp's direction, even if they don't see him, so they will get eyes on him in just a moment.
Gobi confirms it right there. We can see the yellow outline from Gobi's sight actually catching him. And they will get sight. Once again, Mazel in a perfect spot. He drops the dome again. Oh, let's see what they can do to Nimp in this one. Of course, they've got to watch out. They've got a Nomad in this fight.
Yeah, Nomads, of course, I have seen take down some of the greatest Hunter squads, doing more damage than the monster himself. The Nomad going to be extremely annoying. Is the Dune Beetle in here as well? I think I saw one of those earlier. Ooh, nice abduct right there. Solid abduction to Kildrith. Taking a fair amount of damage. Decoy being deployed.
You know, Nimp still isn't able to engage the Hunters, though. He's got to continue to mitigate just like he's doing. He's done a great job of it so far. Let's see what else he can do. Abduct onto Wardoom. There's a Warp Blast. Wardoom gets out of that Warp Blast handily, and the Orbital comes down, forcing Nimp off once again. Well, we've got a Dune Beetle in the fight also, but it looks like the Dune Beetle is kind of bugged or trapped on the rocks there. We'll have to see if Nimp can actually make use of it.
Yeah, I was wondering where that Doom Beetle was at. I'm not sure what he's doing up there, and he's not jumping down or climbing up. So that Doom Beetle, I guess, is just going to chill right there and not be a factor in the fight. I was wondering, because there was a Nomad and a Doom Beetle in that dome. I felt like Nimp could have capitalized on that, but the Nomad was quickly disposed of. And the Doom Beetle was just kind of chilling, minding his own business, which is not synonymous with Doom Beetle. Very rarely will Doom Beetles mind their own business. I've had Doom Beetles chase me across the map on the dam, thirsting for blood. It's not like it can kill me. It's just kind of annoying and I want to eat, bro. Leave me alone. Doom Beetles. Really, really annoying. Just want to steal your food. Too lazy to kill their own food, but not lazy enough to chase you across the map. Eating some Venom Hounds right here. Looks like Nimp will be ready for stage 3 in one meet.
Yeah. Kildrith, though, pushing him directly into the path of Mazel again. If he slows it down a little bit, Mazel might have time to regain his dome and pull off another one. There's the decoy, the sneak pounce onto Wardoom. He goes on Wardoom. It looks like he might actually commit to this. That's going to result in another dome, though. If he doesn't get out in a few seconds, it's almost off of cooldown here.
We might see a dome in just a moment. There it is online, and the monster doesn't even have half armor. That is going to be huge for this Hunter squad. They really haven't done too much permanent health damage, about a bar, but now they're really going to try to put the Wraith on her heels. Nimp was looking okay right now. He didn't have to play too passive, but after this dome, if they do a serious amount of damage, which it looks like they will do, they are really going to put Nimp on a backpedal here. Wardoom and Mazel both going fairly low. Slim gonna try to keep them both up and online.
Yeah, Nightmare's got to come in strong with those heals if they want to pull something off here. Sneak pounces, Warp Blast. Everyone is low here. This is the perfect time for Slim to shine. Wardoom does go down, but the damage on Nimp is immense right now. He's only got 2 bars of permanent life left, and he's forced to pop that decoy and try to escape while the team is distracted by that decoy.
Unfortunately, he lost a ton of health damage for 1 down penalty on Wardoom, so it wasn't all for nothing.
Oh,
But
nice stasis shot
frame.
right there, slowing Nimp down just as the dome falls. That's the mark of a good trapper, knowing when to pull out that stasis gun and slow the monster right before the dome drops. That way your team can stay a little bit closer and dish out just that extra bit of damage. They did about a half bar of health there right after the dome fell.
I don't think Nimp at this point needs to fear Mazel just yet as far as long rifle shots through armor, but it's getting pretty close, and he's going to want to hit stage 3. If I'm on the Hunter Squad right now, I'm feeling all right. Even though Wardoom did take a down penalty, I think they should be fine,
Yeah.
considering they've got the Wraith so low.
Nimp lost so much health there. He's evolving in the same spot. Once again, this is going to be a pretty good spot for the Hunters to fight him in. I think that this fight is going to go the same as the last game.
Ooh, looks like he actually
chooses
might
not
not
to.
be evolving here.
Yeah,
Decoy has been deployed,
clever.
and he's going to slip.
He's not going to be able to
past
sneak
Cougar.
by. Oh, he's going for Wardoom here. And Mazel
not connect on
throws
the
the
abduct.
dome again.
There's a capture. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to focus down Wardoom right there. Thing is, I feel like if Kildrith was hide right there, he would have seen the Wraith while invisible, because Flamethrower just got a bigger spread than the Plasma Lance. You could spray that thing everywhere without fear of losing a combo. Mazel taking a little bit of damage from the
Mazel's
decoy right
got
there.
to get away from that decoy there. He does. Slim is going to get him healed up very, very easily, but it almost looks like he walks right back into Nimp. Nimp, a couple auto attacks, and the abduct. No shields from Wardoom. Warp Blast takes Mazel very, very low. This dome could fall, but Nimp has to back off again as the rest of the team expends all their jetpack to come to Mazel's rescue.
Man, even if they don't break his armor inside of this dome, because the dome is going to run out in just a little bit, Mazel can shoot through and get some permanent health and put the Wraith even further on.
Nice abduct there.
Oh,
Shields from Wardoom.
no.
A little bit too late there. He does break line of sight on the backswing of that abduct and manages to down Mazel and escape the dome. Well played by Nimp.
That's what makes Abduction such a great ability, displacing the Trapper so that there was no line of sight for the shields. Wardoom trying to get back in line of sight, but it's just too... As we saw, Amy Bot landed some insane domes in that area.
Right,
And
let's talk about the
looks
perks
like they
now real
decided to
quick.
set up
Looks
somewhere
like
else.
half the people in this game have taken movement speed. We've got the Monster with movement. We've got Assault and Trapper, both with movement. Reload on Slim and Capacity on Hank.
Yeah, I was going to guess capacity on Hank just based off that shielding that he was doing back there. Reload is, I think, the only thing people really take on Slim nowadays. Movement speed on the Trapper is one of the 2 perks we generally see, and movement speed on Kildrith was one of my 2 guesses. I was going to guess movement speed or jetpack. I wasn't watching his movement enough to be able to tell which of those 2 he was running, but I suspected he was running one of those 2. And of course, movement on the Wraith is great when you want to stealth. The Wraith has the fastest movement speed while crouched, and that just makes it even better, coupling it with movement speed. Decoy has been deployed, but it looks like he is taking a different avenue of entry right here.
Yeah, they know he's coming around the backside right there. Goes on Wardoom right away. He wants that support down. Abduct into auto attacks. That Warp Blast not going to connect, though. He will hit him a few more times with those auto attacks. Wardoom with that cloak finally able to break line of sight and escape.
Yep, and it looks like, I think... Is Nimp already leaving to go feed up? It looks like he is. He is finding a little bit
Very
of food.
smart move. Realizes he couldn't take Wardoom down in the first salvo. He doesn't have the armor and health to commit, so he backs off, armors up. This time Mazel throws the dome the first salvo. He doesn't have the armor and health to commit, so he backs off, armors up. This time Mazel throws the dome right away. He wants to make sure that Nimp stays in the dome if he messes up again.
Wardoom is actually outside of the dome, and his cloak is on cooldown. That's not such a bad idea. He could just enter with his shield out as soon as someone starts to take some serious heat.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Wardoom
look
waiting
at
for
that.
the
That is
cooldown.
exactly what Wardoom is doing. He's just waiting here. He comes in now. Shields on Kildrith. I think he was going for Mazel there, but missed it the first time. Warp Blast, though, shielded. Supernova going to be shielded as well, but that shield goes down very, very shortly. There's an orbital, though. They are into permanent health damage, and this could be it for the monster player Nimp today.
Mazel might go down in just a moment. Where are those shields from War Doom?
War Doom needs to shield him.
Down,
couple
or
more
are they
attacks.
ready? They were ready.
Comes in at the very last second. There's the Abduct. That's going to be shielded as well. The dome does finally fall. Nimp's going to stay in to down Mazel, but he doesn't have the health to commit. He needs to back off.
A second too late to keeping Mazel up on the shields. He had the capacity to keep Mazel alive. He just put the shield on him a second too late. And unfortunately, that's 2 down penalties on the Trapper, which makes him extremely squishy. If Nimp can eliminate Mazel from the game, then he'll be looking all right. But at this point, if Mazel stays in the game too long, he'll shoot right through that armor into that health, or the dome will stay up long enough for Lenny to tear off the armor and finish off the monster. So it's going to be a tight one right here. It's going to be a tight one. Although Nimp is not out of it yet by any means. He does have 2 down penalties on Mazel, and he could use that to his advantage. Not to mention 1 on War Doom as well. He does have a low amount of health, but Wraiths have a lot more armor at stage 3 after the title update. So he's got a little bit of working room. Not the most amount of working room, but it's still doable at this point. It'll just be a bit difficult for our Wraith here to come back.
Yeah, he's got to focus down Mazel right away. If he doesn't take down Mazel, Mazel could potentially finish him solo just with the long rifle of Crow.
All right, Mazel just chilling right now. Getting his long rifle out. As you can tell, he's going to have that thing charged up and ready to start taking out Nimp. Shoot directly through that armor. Get his health down. Mazel is a primary target right now because he has a dome, because he's got 2 down penalties, and because he's got that long rifle.
Mazel drops the dome right away. Oh, Kildrith with the body block on the Abduct completely misses his intended target. There's the Supernova. Gonna hit Kildrith, but the shield's gonna keep Mazel up. Mazel gonna take a few more hits, though. He does drop down low. There's an orbital that's actually destroying his armor there. I wasn't sure if that was gonna hit, and Nimp loses it all already. He has got to escape.
He's not losing too much health, although he doesn't have a lot of health to work with in the first place. That's half of his remaining health. Even more than that, actually. That's not a lot of health lost, but that is a lot of his remaining health lost. So that's to be considered. Mazel is out of the game for now, so he is safe for a little bit. No one can shoot through armor to finish off Nimp at this point, and he's going to want to really pick at the team here. If he wants to win right now, take out War Doom, send War Doom to the dropship, and then take out Nightmare and possibly send Nightmare to the next dropship. Also Kildrith, perhaps, so that the damage output is really, really reduced. You're going to want to take out the support and medic. Give the team a low amount of sustain. No sustain, can't stay up in the fight. Can't keep Mazel alive. Mazel's got 2 down penalties.
Nimp knows that this is it. He's got to make short work of War Doom, and then he's got to either finish off Nightmare or back off, re-armor up, and then come back in and finish off Nightmare. Let's see if he can do it. There's the traversals onto War Doom. Auto attacks. There's the Abduct coming out. Damage already starting from Kildrith, but War Doom is so low, and Nightmare can't keep him up. Another auto attack drops him. The Hunter team is still running towards Nimp. Oh, he's distracted, though.
War Doom getting up.
Yeah, War Doom is actually going to get back up here.
Nope.
Oh, he gets War Doom back up in time. That's going to prevent the majority of the damage on Nightmare. The Warp Blast, though, does catch him. A couple more auto attacks to finish him. But the shields again from War Doom. War Doom, absolute MVP with those shields today.
I'm not sure why he didn't try to guard down War Doom right there, but he does have a down penalty on Nightmare. Nice pounce right there.
Oh, sneak pounce preventing the res on Nightmare because War Doom would have went down as well if he did. Hunter team has to finish him at this point. Abduct going to finish War Doom. I think one more shot. Oh, this is it. It is Nimp versus Kildrith here. A sneak pounce will finish Kildrith. He does pop the Supernova. That's actually going to give Kildrith time to finish off Nimp. Nimp has to back off. He needs to pull off a proper sneak pounce.
Mazel and Nightwing are back in the game, though. They're on the dropship.
Oh, so they are back on the dropship.
Yeah, that was a clutch dropship right there.
He couldn't do it in time. I missed the timer on that. Nimp will finish off Kildrith. Oh, and the dome comes out. There is no way that Nimp can actually take this game now.
Oh,
he does not have the armor even to fight Nightmare.
Mazel needs to land 1-2 shots max
Mazel dropping in at the clutch moment, pulling off the perfect and much-needed dome for Epex to take this game. There's very little that Nimp can do here. He's got to break line of sight constantly. I think 2 long rifle shots is all it's going to take to finish him. 1
headshot, if anything, could finish it right here.
Yeah,
it is up to Mazel to clutch it for his team here. Oh man,
right,
but then
what's gonna
the rest of the hunters drop in, and Mazel shoots through the armor. Then Wraith's really on his heels right there. There's not a lot he can do.
Yeah, Nimp just waiting, getting a little bit of his armor back. I think he has enough to commit on Mazel now, and possibly take him out, and then finish off Nightmare before the next dropship comes in. I don't know. Nimp, though, trying to play it safe.
This is really on Mazel's.
Oh, there's the shots right there.
Oh, that was a decoy. This is all
Mazel
on
missed the long rifle shot right there. Yeah, it does come down to his marksmanship. Nimp goes right in with a sufficient amount of armor. Now looking to take out Mazel. He pops the supernova. There's a few more traversals of Warp Blast. The Warp Blast doesn't connect, though. That's absolutely huge. Mazel down to half of his life with 2 strikes. There's the decoy. He's going in for the sneak pounce on Mazel. That's going to drop Mazel, I think. Yep, Mazel's going to go down. And Nimp has 45 seconds to take out Nightmare. Does he know which direction Nightmare went, though?
It's up to Nightmare now. I could have swore Mazel was going to get another shot in.
It's up to Team Captain and Medic. Nightmare. Nimp is going the wrong way. He's not going Nightmare. 1 more shot is all it's going to take.
Destroy this. He does not have time to destroy that.
You're right.
40 seconds, and he started hitting it after 30. Nightmare's going to go in and stop him from destroying it, but then the other hunter's going to drop in. Mazel's going to get that 1 more shot that he needs, and they can take the game home right here.
Nightmare just needs to time this perfectly. He just needs to hold Nimp off the relay long enough for the hunters to drop in. 5 seconds left. That's all he needs. Slim can definitely tank this. 2-1. The abduct on Nightmare. Nimp will drop Nightmare, I think, before the hunters come in. But will the hunters have enough time to come in and dome Nimp immediately? If they do, they are definitely going to win this game. It's all down to the hunters now. Dropship opening. Nimp still trying to finish off Nightmare. He does go down. Now Nimp is going to run, and that might be enough time for him to get away before Mazel lands on his head.
Everyone in this game has their guts hanging out of their stomach right now. Everyone is extremely injured.
Mazel on the long rifle right there. Nimp has to take him out. It's just going to take 1 shot. That's it. But that was a decoy.
1 single shot to the toe is going to finish off this Wraith unless Mazel gets pounced. It looks like they are cloaked right now.
My heart is pounding right now. I have no idea who could win this game. Nimp just waiting for that decoy to refresh. He misses the sneak pounce on Kildrith. That's probably for the better because Mazel would get that charged shot if he did. There's the decoy right there sneaking around the backside of Mazel. He does commit sneak pounce on Mazel. The shield from Wardoom coming out to protect him. All it's going to take is 1 shot from Mazel, but the Wardoom, with the Warp Blast drops Mazel.
Assault's down. Wardoom is the last man standing. He's got to tear through all that armor.
He's got to pop that cloak. He's got to get away.
Take the shot. That's a pounce right there.
This is going to be it right here. 1 more shot's going to do it.
With the clutchest monster win I've ever seen in my life. What just happened? Mom,
I have no idea. That was absolutely amazing. If that is any indication of what the remainder of the games today, tomorrow, and in Poland are going to be like, I'll tell you what, Nikki, I don't know.